How's everybody doing? Sam, how you doing, Sam? Yeah, tonight I'm going to be covering Easel in depth drawing area, and I started actually 2 weeks ago, and since I'm keeping these videos at 1 hour, I didn't quite finish. So I started 2 weeks ago, and I covered the first the first video that I did with Easel was just covering the 0 point and how to manipulate your 0 point in relationship to your object. Okay. Then the second video I did last week was, well, it actually ended up being layering and manipulating objects within the drawing area, how to use the shift key to be able to select and deselect several things at once, or one at a time, I mean. So tonight I was thinking about talking more about the drawing area, how to manipulate drawings and stuff like that, and how you can do what you want, not what the machine wants. Okay, so that's the cool part about it. Is the main object is to be able to teach you how to do a project and it comes out the way you wanted it to come out. Okay, so a lot of times that's not the case. Um, yeah, so we're just gonna, let me see what time is it. Oh, we got 1 more minute. Wait for everybody to sign in or sign in here. And if you see me looking over here, that's my monitor over there. So I have to check. That's where the. Oh, hey, Steve Morgie, how you doing, man? Glad you can make it. That's where I'm reading the text and stuff, or messages, comments. Yeah, so we're gonna do some easel tonight. Do some easeling. I'm actually waiting for Robert Perone to get on here. He had a problem with his machine today, and there was just something I was thinking about. I had to ask him if he had checked because something didn't work. Let me see here. Oh, okay, let me turn you around here and start getting ready here. Okay, so to get started, this is really what I covered last week. This is what I ended up doing last week, was this here, and this drawing actually ended up being oh, my machine is terrible slow right now, but okay. And edit. I'm going to edit. Select all. There we go. Okay. And now I'm just gonna move it down to the bottom left hand corner. 0 and 0. See, I shouldn't have to explain what I'm doing here, because if you people watched my first video on Easel, you'll see this is how you manipulate, how you move your object around and to accommodate it to the 0 point that you cannot change. Okay, This is your 0 point down here. This cannot be changed. It can never be changed. Where your numbers go down to 0 here, that 0 point can never be changed. Okay? The only thing you can change is the relationship between your object. This relationship here is the only thing you can change as far as your 0 point and your object. Okay? That relationship. I'm going to go up to edit and undo move. So it's back to where it was. All right. So now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play around a little bit. I'm going to make this work area as big as possible right now because we don't need to see the preview yet. Okay. And what I'm going to do is right now, I'm just going to move this up a little bit. And I take Paul and I'm going to move it up here somewhere, just out of the way. And I'm going to highlight CNC and I'm going to move it up next to there for right now. And I'm going to move the star over here, up there. And move the square up here. I'm going to move this circle up here. I'm going to move this triangle. Just move them out of the way for right now. Because right now I'm going to work with this. Okay? And what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm just going to change my bit size so it'll look a little bit better when I'm millimeters. Okay, get rid of that there, and I'm going to change my bit again to millimeters, and I'm going to change it to 1 millimeter. Okay, now when I go to cut and I change this now to cut outside shape path, so that means my tool is now running, the center of my tool will be, since it's a 1 millimeter tool, it will be moved, the center of my tool will be 0.5 millimeter outside that line. So the tool will be cutting right along the side of the line. And I can show you this by, you see here. Let me explode it even more. And you can do this on your own. Now I can't explode it anymore now. But you see here, here's our shape path, and then you see the tool runs right alongside of it. So the tool is actually, the edge of your tool is cutting right along the edge of the line. So in other words, it's going to be whatever size I tell that square to be, which is here in shape. I can tell you right now that it's 125.6 millimeters, but I'm going to stretch it out a little bit because we're going to play around with this window here a little bit. And I'm going to make it exactly 200 millimeters. 200. And I'm going to call this one here 100 millimeters. 100 space millimeters. There we go. 100 by 200. All right. Now the cool thing you have down here, you have this edit points. You know, this edit points. It does exactly what is what you it's how to edit this object. Now, you see what happens. Right now I have it highlighted. And you see I have my handles, my squares here. This one here is to drag it upwards, to extend it upwards. This one here will it'll scale it up or down towards the right. Okay, and then this one here will stretch it out, whatever. But these are the handles. Now watch what happens when I hit edit points. These handles turn into balls, and you have a ball on each corner. Okay, and right now you see here there is nothing here highlighted. These are both light blue. Now watch when I highlight one of these. Right now, this one here, the straight edge, lit up because it is a straight edge. Now I can grab this corner and I can move it. I can move it anywhere I want, and it's still a straight corner. It's still a straight edge. Okay. So let's just see right there. Now it's still highlighted. You see, it's still blue there. Okay. Now watch what happens just when I click on curved. It's going to take this straight line and it's going to curve it. Watch. Now it doesn't look like what we had, but now I can take this dot and hold it, and I can manipulate it how I wanted it. I can manipulate it down this curve down here if I want, or I can bring it up here. Now, the cool thing about this, I'm on curved right now. If I hit straight, watch what happens. You see there? Here's curved. All right. Now watch this. This is what's really cool on the curved. Now you see here on the straight, it only has one dot. On the curved, it has three dots. 1, 2, 3. Now the center dot is going to move both of these lines up to the next intersection, okay, which is here. So this center dot will move both of those lines, okay? Now, what do these other lines do? This dot here is going to control this line right here from that dot there, from that connection there to this connection here. So now if I grab this dot and I pull it up, you see how it's just moving that one line. Okay, and I can pull it all the way up there like that. And you see here, now watch. That top corner dot, watch what happens when I get in line with that. See that? It snaps to red. That means I'm in line with that dot right there. If I come over further, let me see, come over here, and you'll see I'm in line with that dot. Okay? If I come down here, you really can't see it, but whenever I get in line with that dot, it should also turn red. There, it's red right there. So anyways, this one will control this line. Okay? Now this one controls this line. So I can take this line now and I can do whatever I want with this one. So this is you can play with these however you want. I mean, then I can click up on this one here. I go to edit points. I click on this one. Oh, no, come on. Edit points. And there. I got that one, and it's telling me it's a straight edge, which it is. And if I move it, it'll move both lines in just a straight line. That's all. You see, it turns everything straight. But I'm going to change it over to curved now. And now I can change this like that. And then if I want, I can even, let me move it over a little bit. I can grab this one here if I want, and I can move this in like that. And then if I want to do more, I can grab this one, which is going to control this line. Whoops. Google Chrome not responding. What up? What up? There we go. Okay. We'll try again. Edit points. Okay. Edit points. Nada. Google Chrome not responding. Well, that's a lot of fun here during okay, let's just close this down. Oh, this is really nice. Come on. Okay, no problem. Then we just have to go over and do a little bit of computer swapping. Give me 1 second and I will have you up and going here in a second. See, when you in the CNC world, you got to always anticipate that something's going to go wrong. And okay, let's see here. Okay, log in Inventables. Here we go. Okay, let's see if this works now. All right, one thing I need to do is I just need to pull up my YouTube channel on this computer here, the other one, if I can. Buffy, is my phone over there? Yeah. Sorry about the delay. I just need to pull up my YouTube channel so I can see what I'm doing, okay? Because if I don't, I can't see what I'm doing. And I don't want to have to be showing you a video where I'm not showing you what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I can see what's happening. Okay, now I can see what's happening. So, all right. I'm trying to get that glare off of here. And I'm going to try to focus more in on the drawing area where we're working. Okay, so now we're back here. So I'm going to extend this over. And this computer here is a lot faster, so this one should work much better. Okay, I'm just going to move this over a little bit. Now I can highlight this. Then I go back down to edit points. Okay, and I click on edit points. And remember, here we left off here, and this one here is going to work this line here. Okay, so this one here, I mean, I can move it around, and then this line, this one here is going to move the top line. Okay, now I can just click away from that, and I click on edit points again. And there's the square again. It's because it's square. We click on curved, and now we can start doing some messing around with it. And I'm just going to leave that just for there like that for now. And then I'm going to click on this one here a little bit. You see what I was talking about right there? Now you see whenever it's in line with that dot, that connection, it's in line with that connection. So that's why I get that red line there. Okay? It's just a reference to show now I'm in line with the bottom one and the one over on the side. That's all. All right, so now I'm going to click on this one again and move it over just a little bit so I can grab that. There we go. And pull this one up a little bit. And I'm going to pull this one up a little bit. Down like that. Okay, now I can take, that's all I did was deselected it and selected it again. Now I can pull this and stretch it out to fill up my area. Here I can bring my star in here like this. And I can bring my star here. I click on Paul, put Paul there. And I can put the square here, and I can put the CNC in there. And I can put this here, and I can put this circle there. And let's just find one more thing here. Okay, now I can select this, and I can say I want to clear out the pocket on that. Okay, and now let's just take a look at what our preview is going to look like. Okay, and let's run a simulation on that. Okay, and that was a simulation. And if you see here now, Paul, let's see here. Paul is at 0. CNC is at 0. The square is at 4 millimeters. The star is at 3 millimeters, roughly 2.9. Circle is at 1 millimeter, and the triangle is at 6.3 millimeters. And this is what it looks like. And you see here, I pull this over a little bit and move this over. And right here, you see how I got the dollar sign, and the outline of that, the outline all showing. Now, if I was to move it one layer back, watch what happens. Let me highlight this. And now look here. This is different objects. Huh? So, and when you pull them apart like that and you screw up, oh man, I screwed up. Now I got to import it again. No, you don't. Go to edit, undo, move, edit, undo, move. Boom. You're right back there where you were. Now you can move everything except the dollar sign. So I move that. Oh no, I screwed up again. Then I say undo, move. Now I hold down my shift key and I put my on the dollar sign, my mouse on the dollar sign. Now it's all one unit. Now, what I can do with this, since it's two separate units, okay, watch this. I can go to edit and I can go down here and I can say combine. Okay, now let's see what happens. I highlight the outer edge. Let's see if it did it. Nope, it sure didn't. See, edit, undo, move. It didn't do it. So I have to hold down the shift key and literally highlight that myself. So now these two are highlighted. Now I can move them wherever I want. And now, if I move this whole thing back one layer, it should go behind the triangle. So I say edit, and I'll say send backwards, not to back. If I send it to back, watch what happens. Disappeared. On my preview, believe it or not, it disappeared. It disappeared on my preview, but it didn't disappear there. So let's just do it again. Edit, send to back. And see, it doesn't want to do it. Now watch. I'm going to say edit, bring forward one layer. Now it's showing here in the preview. Let me get a better picture of it for you here. Now see here. Now this is a fault on Easel here, because here it's showing that this unit, this dollar sign and its outline, it's two units, which I have both of them highlighted over here. And now it is behind the triangle, but you see it's higher up because we told it that it's not supposed to be cut. So it's higher up, but it's still behind. Now, if I say edit, bring forward again, bring forward, and it still didn't do it. Let's try it again. We'll go to bring to front. There we go. Now it brought it to the front. Let's try the circle, see if it works any better. I'll highlight the circle. And I'll go to edit, and I'll say bring forward. You see there? It brought it one layer in front of the triangle. Now, if I say bring forward again, it should be coming the forward of the bring forward one more time. See, there you go. I think that looks kind of corny though, so I'm going to go to undo bring forward. And I can leave that like that. So this is what my project will look like after I've manipulated the lines. Now I can see right here, I didn't like that. That line is not flowing like the rest of them are. You see, kind of breaks right there. Okay, we're going to fix that. So we go over here and we look at, right there's the problem. I mean, that's downright ugly right there. I don't know how I could have done that, but we're gonna change this to cut outside shape path to begin with, and then I'm gonna go to edit points, and I'm gonna bring this one in. I'll grab that point there. There we go. Now it's a smooth transition there, huh? And then the bottom corner, we made that the way that is. That's where you wanted it. Okay. So that is what we have made. So now watch this. Okay. The whole thing here is highlighted right now. Okay. Just just the outer perimeter is highlighted. So I'm going to click away on that. And now I'm going to highlight the star. And then I'm going to hold down the shift key and I'm going to highlight Paul. Okay. Now they're both highlighted. I can move both of them. And now here I can use my my centering tools here, because right now I only have two things highlighted: the star and my name. And when you only have, watch this, if you highlight one thing, I'm going to highlight the star. Nothing comes up here. As soon as I highlight my name, there you go. Now, these are aligning tools. You have horizontal, the first three are horizontal. Align to the left. If you look at the picture, it shows you with the brick all the way aligned to the left. Align to the center and align to the left or right. The next three are vertical. Okay, align to the bottom, align to the middle, and align to the right. Now, this aligning tools only pertain to the square that you see that is highlighted and the things that are highlighted in there within that square. That's all these are going to manipulate, is what's in that square right now. So if I wanted my name lined up on the left hand side, I could put it there. If I wanted it on the left hand side at the bottom, I'll go over here to this vertical ones. There, it's down at the bottom. If I wanted it aligned at the bottom and in the middle, I can put it there. If I want my name in the middle, I hit it there. Bang. Now I go over here to the square. I highlight the square, nothing comes up. Now I highlight C and C. Hold down my shift key. Boy, there it comes up. And I can see this isn't lined up because I'll show you. Watch. Boom. Now it's lined up. Vertically, it's not lined up there. Now it's lined up horizontally. Or I can move it over to all the way to the right hand side. I can move it all the way up if I want. Or I can move it over to the right hand side. Or I can move it down to the bottom right hand side. Or to the left bottom. Wherever I want it. I can put it right in the center. Okay? Now, I'm going to just grab my circle down here. And I'm going to highlight it. And I'm going to grab the dollar sign, bring it in here, just close. And I'm going to bring over this here. Now I got these three objects. And I highlight, first of all, I'm going to highlight the circle. It's highlighted. Okay. If I move the circle, you'll see here. Okay. So when I move the circle, now I'm going to highlight, I'm going to hold my shift key down. And I'm going to highlight the outer perimeter. And I'm also going to highlight the dollar sign. Everything now is highlighted. Everything is one unit. Okay. And you see how everything came up here. Now watch. I want everything centered. Okay, so I'm going to hit center vertically or horizontally and center vertically. Perfect. Perfect. Now, watch this. If I wanted a little bit more border around this here, I hit my shift key. I unselect the S and I unselect the frame around it. And that's all I do is my circle is highlighted. So I don't want to mess with these handles right now. I want to go to shape, and here, right here, it says that the size of my circle is 50.8 millimeters. And since it's a circle, they're both the same height and width. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first hit the lock because I want to lock the relationship between the width and the height. Now I'm going to change the circle to 60 millimeters. 60. Enter. And both of them have changed to 60. And but they're not centered. So now I have to hold my shift key. I have to hit the dollar sign. Then I have to hit that outside edge there. And I have to hit my circle. All three of them are highlighted. I go to center, center. Now I have more of a border around there. Hmm? Then, I mean, let's find something else we can put down here and mess with. Okay, we'll just take that one and we'll do that one. Okay, now well, let's put that there and make it a little bit bigger and clutter it up a little bit. I kind of like that. Yeah. Okay. Now, is this a whole unit or not? Nope. There's one, there's two, there's three, and there's four different units in this one unit. Let's try to combine these, see what happens. I've done the star now. It's highlighted. I'm going to hold my shift key down and I'm going to highlight the outer perimeter and I'm going to highlight the legs now. There. Now I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to say combine. Now, see there? And now it's combined. I click one thing and the whole thing is combined. That one worked. Strange. You see? I mean, that's a lot of times there's no method to the madness. Okay? Sometimes it works, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Now, the opposite of combining, what do you think it is? Exploding. Yep, exploding. So let's just say that I wanted to explode this because I want to take these two bottom parts off. Okay. So what we have to do here now is we have to go over to our apps here. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. To the Lego apps, to the Lego brick. And we go down here to exploder, a firecracker. All right. So I click on that and it shows me right there what I have highlighted. Now I'm going to say import. Okay. Now, if I bring this over here and I highlight this one, see what it did was this one is still all together. You see here, if I click on one thing, the whole thing is highlighted. So I'm just going to delete that right now. Now watch here. There's my separates. Watch, delete, delete. Now I hit click on the outer ring. I hold my shift key down. I hit the star. They're both highlighted now. Okay. Now what I can do is I can go down here and I can say edit. Let me see. Wait a minute. I gotta highlight this one, and I have to highlight this one. Or is it one? Let me see. Oh, it is one. Okay. Okay. So it didn't break apart those actually. Let's see if we can break those apart. We'll try the app again. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes you have to do it once, sometimes you have to do it twice, sometimes you have to do it 3 times. Now it's showing me here. Okay, import. And let's see here. And it didn't do it. It didn't do it. So you have to just swallow that one like a bad pill, I guess. Like I said, sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. Okay. And I was going to highlight this again, go back to where I was, which was cut settings, and that was cut out a pocket. So then I have my whole project over here. And as this here is showing, that was cutting all the way through, and we don't want that. We'll just leave that at nothing. Okay. Now if this had broken apart, if I had broken this apart, I could change the depth of the star in relationship to the outer ring, but I can't right now. Okay. So put that to 0. Now let's see. So this is basically what my project is going to look like. And I can move it over here. Let me adjust that circle and the dollar sign a little bit. And I'll highlight the circle. Oops, there, circle. And I'll put that one there. Just something like that, just for the heck of it. That's what we get. Let's simulate it. And now I just have a roughing tool in there now. So that's what it comes out like. And then if I move it up, you can see the difference in height and everything. So this is how you make your personalized stuff. Because I'll tell you, it's a lot more fun to really to make your own stuff rather than just pulling stuff out of the clip art. And one of the things I can one of the things I can do here now is I'm going to show you some of the stuff here. Project new. Yeah, hey Robert Perone. I got a question for you, real quick, man. Was that project the first project you ran on your machine since you upgraded it? If so, did you ever go in and recheck everything here that your machine setup was correct? I'm just wondering. Okay. And oh, drivers and post processors. This is new. Whoa. Easel driver, post processor for Fusion 360 and Vectric Aspire. Whoa. If you people don't know what post processors are, I can tell you right now. If you don't know that, don't mess with G code. People think that G code is G code is G code. Well, they couldn't be further from the truth. G code is one specific language. But guess what? That language has to be tailor made for each individual machine. Okay? An example of that is here are all the G codes. Let me see if I can put some lights. Here's all the commonly used G codes. Okay? This is a bunch of them. A bunch of them. From G0 to G99. Let's say roughly 90 or almost 100. Okay? There's a lot of them. But guess what? Easel only uses like 10. And out of those 10, you can eliminate like oh, 4 of them automatically because it's either or. So, but you have to create your G code using for example, with my 3018 on Aspire, I use what's called Xcarve post processor to process my G code. Okay, now I was just jumping off the subject here. Now, for you people that haven't played with the apps, I'm going to pull up a couple things here. Let's see here. Just see here, animals. Okay, a deer. Okay. Now, you have all these apps, and I don't really know why I pulled that deer up. Let me get rid of that deer right now because I'm going to show you a couple things here on these apps. And this one here, for example, inlay generator. Don't be afraid to click on things. I know what I have to do. Here we go. We have to select the shape first. Okay. So I'm going to select the shape, and I'm going to call it the butterfly. Outline on path. Here we go. Okay, we're going to do this, and then we are going to make it smaller. Shape. Wow. Let's say 100. 100 by. I'm going to do edit, undo resize, and I'm just going to hit the lock, and I'm going to put 100 in here because then it will adjust the height automatically. See? Boom. I don't know, by using the lock. That's all it is. Okay? Now, let's just say that I have a piece of wood and I'm going to use, oh, really? I'm going to twist your brains now. Okay? I want that butterfly as an inlay in the middle of this. Okay? This here block, I want that butterfly to be 100, 200, 250. Okay, I want it, the width, I want it 250. 250 space. I still have the lock on, so it's going to keep the proportion. And now I'm just going to move it down. Okay, so, and from what I can see right now, then I'm going to have to use a 2-tool cut because it is not cutting out the antennas or antennae. So I'm going to change my second tool to 0.8 millimeters. And there we go. Now let's see if the antennae, there we are, there they are. Okay. And I want to cut that out in plexiglass. I want to cut that out in, let's see here, just a second. I have some, you got to bend over here. I got to do it in red plexiglass, okay? So what I do is I measure, take my calipers, and I measure the thickness. Okay, zeroed out. I measure the exact thickness, and it is 2.68 millimeters. 2.68 millimeters. First thing I want to do is put my depth to 2.68 millimeters, and that will round it off to 2.7 millimeters deep. Okay? And I can see that that is 250 millimeters, and that is completely wrong because I want 70. I don't know where I measured that from, but I want 70 millimeters because I'm going to show you why. I have my lock on. Okay, so when I put 70, it's going to keep it to the same size. So now, when I show you here on my calipers, I put 70, roughly 70. It'll be somewhere in there. Okay, but now I used my handy dandy tool that I printed off, 3D printed from Thingiverse. And what you do is you just put your circle in there and you move it around and you make a line and you turn it and you make a line and you turn it and you make a line, and that's your center. Okay. So now I want that butterfly. I want the pocket. I want it dead center in my piece of wood, on my round piece of wood. Okay. So what do I have to do now? I have to go up here to position, and I have to select the center of my object by using my dice, and I select the center, and then I just change my 0 point to 0. Boom. One more. 0. Boom. Now it's directly in the center of my 0 point. So what I do now? What do I do now? Watch this. Let me put some light on over here and kind of get my ducks in a row here. I have my monitor. I was gonna start trying some aluminum be milling. I'm going to do milling. I'm be milling out some aluminum. So I'll let you guys know how that works. But but we are going to do this circle. So the first thing I want to do is obviously clamp my piece down. Okay, clamp my piece down to my table, and let's just say it's clamped down. Okay, and I bring my zero, my Z dead center in the center. Okay. Now, if you had your drawing set up where you had your 0 point in the bottom left-hand corner, guess what? There is no bottom left-hand corner. If you think of that square, there is no bottom left-hand corner here. So you can't set your 0 point. So let's just say my clamps are clamped down here. My Z-axis is on my 0 point. And guess what? You're ready to go. Really. So what I do here, let's just go over here and look at there. Oh, let me turn you around here. Okay. Now, I'm going to run a simulation. Remember, I've told you that in Easel it will only show this area here. This is your 0 point. But in reality, it actually these numbers here keep going down from below here, negative numbers. These numbers here go over this way, and they're negative numbers that way. But Easel just shows you this corner here. So, but when I simulate it, watch what happens. It shows the whole thing. I'm going to speed it up a little bit so we don't have to watch paint dry or grass grow. Okay, now one thing you'll notice here, that was only the roughing tool. So what I got to do is I got to add, or no, I'm sorry. My bad. That's both roughing and detail tool. And guess what? It didn't do the antennas. So I have to go down in size on my, let's try 0.5 millimeter. A little bit more. I guess I'm going to have to go about 0.3. That is tiny. Those are tiny, tiny antennas. So now I have to restart my simulation because I changed bits. Now back it all up and let's see what happens. Let me speed it up a little bit. Okay, now it's going into the detail and it's cutting around and it's cutting out the antennas and everything. And it just cleaned it all up. Okay, so now you have a perfect pocket. So that now I just ran my machine, right? And now that pocket is cut out in my coaster. So what do I do now? Now, what I want to do is I got to highlight. It's my what do you call it? My butterfly is highlighted, and I just moved it just a little bit. And you see here, my 0 position is at 0, 0, 0. It's on the center of there. But guess what? Now I don't really care where it is. I don't care where it is. What I can do now is I can just grab this and I can pull it down to where I can pull it down there if I want, where my 0 point is. My 0 point is down at the bottom here, okay? And I mean, I can move this wherever I want. I don't care. Now, but the main thing is now. Now I'm going to cut my plexiglass, okay? I'm going to cut my plexiglass out. So my 0 point really isn't that precarious right now, okay? So right for just for the heck of it, I'm just going to nestle this down to the bottom left-hand corner. I go to shape, and what corner do I want to reference? My bottom left here. So I click on bottom left and I put 0, 0, enter, and I'm going to put 0, enter. And you see there? Now my 0 point is at the bottom left-hand corner of my butterfly. It's not in the center anymore. So now I go to cut settings and I put my material just, I can leave the size because I know this is just a scrap. This is just a scrap piece of plexiglass, okay? So I don't really need to change the width and height and that. But one thing I need to change is I have to put the exact thickness of it, which is 2.7, okay? 2.7 millimeters, 2.7, okay? So I put that in there. Now, I highlight it. And the first thing, I don't want to cut out of pocket. I already done that. And I don't want to cut on the shape path because then it will be smaller. It will be smaller than my it'll be smaller than my pocket. I want to cut outside the shape path. If you cut on the inside of the shape path, it will be really small. It'll wobble. I mean, it'll have the thick. Actually, cutting inside the shape path, your butterfly will be 2 tool sizes smaller than the pocket. Okay, so we cut outside the shape path, and we are going to take away the roughing bit. And what I'm going to use for a cutout tool is I'm going to use other, and I'm going to use a 1 millimeter straight flute for cutting out that butterfly. Okay. So now what do I do now is simple. I put my plexiglass on my machine, and it's going to look like that right there. Okay. I'm going to put my plexiglass right over here because I'm going to cut that butterfly out of this right here, this area right here. Okay. So I can just move my table back by hand because I don't have it connected up to my machine right now. And I just move this over. Okay. And I bring my Z-axis down. And let's just say that is a 1 millimeter cutting tool. And I say that I'm going to be cutting from the bottom left-hand corner. Okay. So that's the bottom left-hand corner of my piece of acrylic. So now my butterfly is going to be cut right out of the bottom left-hand corner of the plexiglass. So I start the machine, and guess what? When I cut it out, when it made the last cut around, guess what? It broke loose and it cracked it all up and broke it all up. It was not pretty at all. So, where do we put here? Now, sometimes you have to pull this up and pull it all the way down to get this here. Use tabs. Now, I'm going to pull this. I'm going to pull this drawing over to illustrate the tabs thing. Just a second here. Okay. Now, you see these yellow marks? These are what they call tabs. Okay? These are tabs. These you determine yourself. You determine down here, use tabs because they are going to hold your object in place while it's being cut out. And when it does that last cut, if it's not held in place, it's going to bang around, break, whatever. And it'll probably break your tool too. So we use tabs. Now, the length of these tabs, 6.3 millimeters. I think that is ridiculous long. I change them to 2 millimeters long. The height is 2 millimeters. No, 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 no. I don't need 2 millimeters of material to have to get rid of later. 1 millimeter. Okay? 1.0 millimeters. Now, look at here. You see here, I can grab that tab and I can move it wherever I want. And what I would do is right there is a very vulnerable spot. Right here is going to be a weak spot. So I want to steady it there. I want the other one here, steady it there. And I'm going to have more. So I go over here and I just click up. There's 4 now. I can click 5, 6, 7, 8 if I want. Now I have 8 of them. So I can leave one tab there. I can leave one tab here because I don't want these to break. There, because you just follow the path. There we go. There we go. And then we bring this one here up here, that corner. This one here back to the tail. And this one here, bring it up here. And then we just have one more here. It doesn't matter. So these are going to be 2 millimeters long. And when it starts cutting down, when it gets down to 1 millimeter from the bottom, it's going to start jumping over these. So that way, when it cuts it all out, I pick up my piece of plastic and I just kind of push it out and be very careful around these areas here. Okay, so you don't break them. I mean, actually, if you wanted, I could move this there. That I think that's even better because then you don't have to try to remove. You don't have to try to remove those plastic tabs off those very small pieces. That was much better moving it away from them. Okay. And if I wanted to be careful here too, I just move these here up here like that. Boom. I can move this one over here this way. There. Doesn't matter where you have them, as long as they hold it in place. Okay? So with that, we have gone overtime, and I would like to thank you guys again. Let me just take a look here real quick at the chats here. Okay, Robert. Robert, I see that you didn't check your machine setup. Maybe it's a thing to check it out. Um, yeah, but I mean, I see here that your work area, but I mean all of it. Your lead screw, your controller, everything. Make sure it's correct. Okay. Uh, yes, yes, Sam. To highlight both, to highlight both, or to combine something, you have to highlight both of them, and that is the whole trick. The whole trick to the whole easel thing is to use the shift key, because if you don't know about that shift key, I'll tell you, you're going to be knocking your head against the wall, because you highlight everything and then you want to deselect, or you select everything and then you want to deselect certain things without deselecting it all. I mean, that is a must know, is the shift the shift key. All right. Yes, so you do have to highlight. I mean, and you can highlight several things. You can highlight four, five, six, seven things, and say combine and hope for the best. I mean, sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. It depends on how the code is written, how the object itself is created. A lot of times when you get objects that you download from the internet, they will be broken up into thousands of parts. And sometimes they will combine, sometimes they won't. It's touch and go. And also in that apps, uh, the Lego brick, if you I scrolled down to the firecracker. Now if you scroll down further, there's a hand grenade, which also breaks apart things. If the one doesn't work, you can try the other one. Okay, so it's always a it's always a kind of touch and go thing. Let me see here. What else is there? Mark Leonard, glad you can make it, buddy. Glad you can make it. All right. So, anyways. By the by, I'm gonna close this off for tonight, and it's been a pleasure. It really has. I really enjoy doing these sessions, and I've been looking on my YouTube, and I've been seeing that people have been watching them. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Anyways, thank you again for cool evening. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And hey, please send people to my YouTube channel, okay? And tell them to subscribe. I need subscribers. I got to get on. I got to start knocking some heads in the group and having them subscribe to my group, or to the YouTube channel too. I need subscribers, because then I can present cooler things. Uh, just soon, very soon. I have a Sane Smart 3018 Pro something Pro. I don't know if it's Pro version, or I don't know. Anyways, I have it. I have the extension table to it. Yeah, I have something that's going to crack you guys up, but I'm not going to tell you what that is. I have the Z-axis upgrade to it, the spindle upgrade, everything. So I am going to be putting a machine together here. Okay, we're going to be putting together that 3018 live. See you guys. Be careful. Stay out of the rain. Don't stand under trees during lightning. Drive carefully. Okay, be cool. Take care. We'll see you guys soon.